Oh, here come the game leapers, mate. What's going on, guys? This is Coach Eags, and in today's video, we're actually going to be seeing what the patch notes are for 13.13. So did Riot promise on buffing Italy? Did they buff Lee Sin's base damage? Did they break the game by buffing and nerfing any of the other items and champions we're going to talk about? Well, we've got to wait to find out, so make sure you guys stick around for the whole video. And guys, if you actually really do want to improve at this game, man, like you might think you can play your champion and play your role, but at the end of the day, like you're a platinum, diamond, gold player, right? Like the reason you're there is because mechanically, you actually can't play the champion and all the other stuff that comes into the game as far as micro goes, as well as challenger players. And obviously, like in terms of knowing the game, you're also missing stuff as well. Those missing ingredients, our challenger players and coaches across the website have been there and done it and have helped other people do it. We have the actual recipe to get there, and you'll have everything you need on the website. All you have to do is just sign up for exclusive access to that library of content. Those links are linked down below in the description and comment section. Now let's get into the 13.13 patch notes. Now, as you guys know, the ranked reset is happening soon, so around like July 19, July 20th. So maybe playing one of these champions, especially the buffed ones, it's going to give you like the best chance of hitting your goal rank. So let's start with Annie. So your Q magic damage is being decreased. So the magic damage as far as the base damage goes, going down by 10 at each rank, and the AP ratio is also going down by 5%. Now, to be honest, Tibbers is still going to be Hulk, so not much is changing there, and you can shield Tibbers and all that stuff. You're still keeping your passive, of course, as well, like starting with your Q and your stun and all that. Your range is still there with your auto attacks. So I still think Annie is in a good spot, but the base damage going down means you're going to miss more minions, and also your pressure during the laning phase is going down as well. I still think Annie will definitely be playable, but her win rate will definitely drop, maybe 0.5%, 1% because of this. Now, another champion beginning with the letter A going down to the bot lane here, we have Aphelios. Now, for Aphelios in 13.13, your Severin lifesteal is decreased. So not only on auto attacks when you have your red gun out, but also the actual ability itself when you press Q. This is down at every single level. So for Aphelios mains, yeah, you're going to have less sustain during the laning phase, and you're not going to actually replenish the HP you might want to when you use your Severin Q. Moving on, the Gravitum, the purple gun. The slow when you auto attack something is not going to be 3.5 seconds. It's going to be only 2.5 seconds now. Then this is, I don't think it's actually that important because 2.5 seconds is still a heck of a lot of time, and the pressure you're going to exert just by, you know, the threat of you pressing Q with that Gravitum auto attack on the enemy champion or champions is still going to be really big. Yes, this is definitely a nerf because it's going down by 1 second, but I still think 2.5 seconds is plenty of time, right? Then lastly, we have Crescendum, the Chakram. So the actual sentry space attack speed is going down. Once again, I don't think this is the biggest thing in the world. Like your sentry gun isn't like as powerful, especially back in the day as it used to be. So on paper, these are definitely nerfs to Aphelios, and I think the biggest one is probably the Severin nerf, right? So your actual lifesteal, especially like during the laning phase and all that, and the scaling lifesteal you're losing. But yeah, those are the Aphelios nerfs, guys, but I still think you're going to be in a decent-ish position, and I know the win rates don't back that up, but we know how strong he is like in higher reloads and in pro play, right? So I still think he'll be pretty good. Now, talking about Ivern. Now, if you're going like Nash's 2, Flichbane Ivern with full like AP and stuff, this build is getting nerfed because the W on hit magic damage, this is going down, but they're also nerfing Daisy here, which is actually what they should nerf if they want to nerf this champion, because Daisy makes Ivern just incredibly busted, right? Because of the empowerments you can give her, especially with all the new builds that have come out. So with Daisy, the movement speed has been decreased, and the slam-based damage when you knock someone up, this is getting decreased as well. In fact, it's getting cut in half at level 6. So from level 6 to level 10, that actual damage is cut in half, and it's down at 20 at level 11 and then level 16 or rank 2 and rank 3. So these are legit nerfs to Ivern, and if there are any tree mains out there, let me know in the comment section what you think. Now for Kindred, your base HP guys and armor, they're both decreasing. Now I said that what they should do is that they should actually nerf Trinity Force, right? Because for ranged champions, Draven, Kindred, Ashe, all of these champions are so broken because of Trinity Force. Don't get me wrong, Draven can go other builds, even Kindred might be able to go another build, but Trinity Force is really pushing them over the edge. I don't know why they haven't added like some sort of range cap on Trinity Force, but they're not doing it. So for Kindred, your base HP going down by 30 and your base armor makes your early game a lot weaker. You are more vulnerable because of this, and you're going to be able to snowball less as a result of this as well. So Kindred copying some pretty big nerfs in 13.13. Now on the other end of the spectrum here, we have another attack damage jungler, this being Lee Sin, and your Q's damage is increasing. So the actual sonic wave damage, the base damage is the same, but it's scaling off 115% of your bonus AD. Also the maximum damage, because remember, the lower they are, the more damage you deal, the maximum damage is 230% now. So pretty much just add another 5% on, right? Because it doubles. doubles. So those buffs to Lee Sin get him into the scaling department a little bit more. They were going to buff his early game damage, which I thought was kind of sus, especially giving him like 10 extra damage on both parts of his Q. Maybe they could have given it 5 and see how it goes. These buffs, I don't think they're really that important because mid to late game Lee Sin, I mean, he is actually really good still. Like if you can play Lee Sin. So again, guys, if you want to pilot Lee Sin, like every challenger Lee Sin, check out the videos on our website. But yeah, he'll be better. But yeah, I don't think he'll be super OP in solo queue anyway. Now moving back to the mid lane here, we have Nico. So your Q's cooldown is getting increased. So it's scaling now from 9 seconds to 7 seconds instead of being a flat 7 seconds. Laning phase, your wave clear, your poke, your pressure, these are all down, right? Your W's damage is also getting adjusted. So the actual bonus damage you deal, okay, based on your auto attacks, the base damage is down early, but it is actually increasing from rank 4 onwards. So rank 4 and rank 5, you're getting an extra 10, rank 4 an extra 5. This actually means like if you're going on hit Nico, this is better for you if you think about it. Because what it means is like you're maxing your W first, right? So if you are going, I don't know, something like maybe Bork, Nash's might be an option, right? If you're going these on-hit kind of like magic damage items, this is good for you. So I don't know if they're actually like encouraging this, but certainly makes it interesting for you Chad Nico players out there. Then we have your Pop Blossom, so the actual ultimate disguise duration, well, it's just being pretty much like cut in half the actual disguise. I don't think this is the most important change for Nico. The Q cooldown, I think that's the biggest one. But yeah, those are the Nico nerfs. Her win rate will definitely go down, but I still think she'll be pretty good, right? Now, probably the most like pointless buff of the patch, but maybe the most like meaningful. Pointless, I'm saying like she didn't need a buff. This is Nidalee. Her base movement speed is going up to 340, so up by 5. I don't know why, bro. Why are they doing this? Why are they buffing Nidalee's like base armor in a patch and her armor per level when she pretty much beats every attack damage jungler in the game and she can still build Zhonya's and stuff? Why are they building her movement speed when she has enough movement speed with her passive anyway, and also mobility in her Cougar form, right, with her pounce to get around the map? What are they smoking, bro? Moving on before I get in trouble. Now we have Rek'Sai here, guys, getting nerfed because Stridebreaker with Rek'Sai and the recent buffs in 13-11 to her, they've pushed her over the edge, and to be honest, this might be justified, but they are nerfing her early game, which is where she's really strong, right? So base attack damage going down by 3, significant, and her HP is also going down to 600, so that's down by 40. Rek'Sai mains, you guys happy with this? Now moving on, guys, we have Rel, and basically here, all these changes mean that Rel's CC is still staying the same. Pretty much everything that's changing here is something to do with like either her regeneration, whether it's like her HP, whether it's something to do with magic resist or damage to monsters. Like nothing really here is changing as far as CC goes, so you can still pick Rel as a hard engaged support to dumpster the bot lane, and she'll probably still be the best support. Now we also have Varus here, guys, who's been included. Your W on-hit magic damage, yeah, is actually increasing, but the damage per blight stack is decreasing. This is because we've seen AP Varus top lane, right, kind of like just killing it, and he's been strong, right? Like ranged top laners, they're notorious for being annoying to play against. So Ryder obviously trying to take this out of the game, right, and keep him as a bot laner, maybe mid laner if he's lucky. Now moving on, another champion beginning with the letter V. This is Vi, because Vi is just so omnipotent in pro play, so her passive shield is decreasing and her ultimate's cooldown is increasing. This is important because her ultimate, well, point and click, it's one of the most OP ults in the game, right? So this going up definitely makes sense to me anyway, because it's so easy and just so powerful. It needs to be on a longer cooldown, so I agree with this. And her passive, the Blast Shield, based on maximum HP, this is decreasing, probably targeting some sort of like Radiant Virtue, you know, with Black Cleaver as well, right? When you've got a lot of HP, like this just going down, I think it's definitely warranted as well. So Vi mains, you will be worse off in 13-13, but you'll be good enough to still play the game. The other jungler getting nerfed here, guys, because he's so prolific across the board and in high reloads, is Wukong, your ease damage to monsters. Well, this modifier has actually been removed. He's not actually getting changed at all. So I don't even know why they put this in the patch notes, but yeah, he's not getting nerfed or yeah, just any of the changes. He was actually getting like a base attack speed buff, which was kind of good for top lane Wukong, but they have obviously removed this. So yeah, Wukong is still staying the same. That was a bit of a G up. Now moving on to items, guys. Duskblade of Draktar is getting a bug fix, so scoring a takedown while channeling will no longer proc Duskblade's untarget ability. So if you're like a Misfortune using her bullet time, if you're a Samira using her ultimate, right, you guys are still going to be hittable while you get a killer assist using your ultimate, okay? That's actually like kind of a big nerf if you think about it, especially for champions like Samira and stuff. Like Rengarite doesn't change anything and other champions, right? But yeah, for MF and Samira, this is legit. Now, moving on to Essence Reaver. The Spellblade base damage is increasing, but the bonus attack damage, well, instead of getting like removed, it is going down to 20%, so cut in half here. So this means that for champions with really good base damage, it's obviously better, which tends to be those fighters and bruisers in the top lane or across the map, maybe even in the jungle as well, right? So if you AD carries out there, so if you're a Draven or something something else, right? Like, yeah, you're not going to appreciate this as much, but I actually don't think it looks too bad, especially with like the bonus AD. It's still, well, hopefully enough. I think we'll have to see about this, but yeah, it does look like a nerf just on paper. Now, moving on to static shift, guys, one of the big talking points of 13-12 and probably 13-13 as well, because the energized minion damage scaling off of AP, this has been removed. And the non-minion damage, so to champions, well, the AP ratio here has been trimmed by 20%. This is massive. So unlucky LeBlanc, unlucky to everyone actually building this, to be honest. I thought this made the game like pretty fun, and for them to like completely wreck the item. They obviously want like AD champions to use this, you know? So if you are like an AP champion, it's just going to be less like good on you. And I'd love to know what you guys actually think of this in the comment section, so please don't hesitate to unleash. The final item, guys, to talk about, and the final thing in this video is Storm Razor. So the energized damage, the base damage is actually going up, but it's not scaling off AP anymore. So any AP champions, once again, building Storm Razor, unlucky. And also the attack damage scaling off of AD has gone down as well, just because the base damage has gone up. So base power, which means rushing the item again, is good. So getting this later in a game isn't going to have the same effect. Again, if you have any thoughts on this, let me know down below. So those were, guys, the 13.13 patch notes. These are official, these are real, these are in the game right now, and I wish you the best of luck in 13-13. If you did enjoy the video, please remember to leave a like down below, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future season 13 uploads, and I'll see you in our next video. This has been Coach Eags. Peace.